So it seems we have some official confirmation. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were essentially paid for their Disneyland trip so they could be interviewed for an upcoming Hulu documentary. But once again, I've got to say, Disney completely misses the mark here. Guys, I used to be a huge fan of Disney, but in the last 10 or so years, we have seen the decline of one of the most imaginable companies in the world into creative bankruptcy. And when I see this trailer, which includes Harry and Meghan and a couple of other celebrities, all I can think of is this is the best you could do to celebrate the 70 years of Disney. Really? Pay celebrities to show up and talk about Disney. I don't care what any celebrities or cosplay royals think about Disney, but maybe there's a little bit we can get from the brief interactions we have of Harry and Meghan and what we can look forward to as this debuts on, I think it's Saturday and Sunday or Sunday and Monday. I don't really even care that much, but we are going to explore this because many of you have requested it. But if you guys haven't been to Royal News Network before, my name is Brittany. I do provide compelling royal commentary, so please hit that subscribe button. I would absolutely love to have you back. And we had a full day today, guys. This is, I was on live streams, I want to say, for 3.5 hours today. So we did a watch party to Royal Rebels, the new series with Princess Martha Louise and Derek Verrett, which is already having fallout. Apparently, they're already distancing themselves from their own project and going, oh, this was really stupid. I was like, oh, did it never occur to you two who are in your 50s now that this might be an incredibly stupid idea? Yeah, I don't really have a ton of sympathies there, but very interesting things. We also did the Crown Report today, which is another live stream where I go over other royal news things. We talk a lot about the fallout of this series and what it means for the future of Norway. Some really, really interesting stuff. So if you guys want to check that out, feel free to check out the links up above and down below. I'll try to put those in there. So if you guys are interested, they are really fascinating pieces, and I can't wait for you to check those out. We also had the upcoming state visit of Donald Trump. He has just arrived in the UK, and we will be doing a tiara watch party tomorrow. This has been the week of live streams, guys. Lots and lots of live streams. So if you love tiaras and are anxious to see the fashion looks at the state banquet, feel free to check out Royal Fashion News. I'll link that up above, which is the sister channel to this one. Coverage starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's about the time, a little bit before we generally get pictures of the state banquet. I usually kind of guesstimate on timing. So if I'm off, I do apologize, but it's going to be such a fun time. I'm really, really hoping for a new tiara from Catherine. My personal tiara I really want to see is a Persian turquoise, but we shall see what we see. But guys, let's go ahead and get into this. So I actually saw the clip somebody else has posted on X, and I'm like, they were at a Disney thing? Oh, I guess they were really paid for their appearance. That's the thing. It was supposed to be a birthday party for their daughter, but essentially it was a paid promotional appearance for Disney so they could talk for this documentary. Or at least, guys, that's my opinion. I just need to clarify that. It's my opinion. They were most likely paid for their appearance at the park and in this documentary, and that's why they went. And as somebody who grew up on Disney, actually lived in Southern California, and actually visited Disney numerous times over the years, particularly Disneyland, I'm very, very familiar with it. And the first thing I thought when I watched this trailer is, why do I care at all? Why do I give a crap that Jamie Lee Curtis, Neil Patrick Harris, Harry and Meghan, and Stephanie, I can't remember her last name, Bletz or something, from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, why do I care what they think about Disneyland? I don't care at all. I could care less. What I think is sort of symptomatic here that we see is a mainstream media that's completely disconnected from the reality of real people, because real people don't really care as much about what celebrities think anymore. This idea that we're all beholden to celebrity has sort of become a misnomer. And celebrity has shifted. It's no longer those, you could say, people within the acting and entertainment industry. It can be anyone on social media. That's the beauty of sort of this modern era. I mean, which is the beauty and sort of a take back as well. But that when it comes to, Hollywood in this instance, like, I can't think of a stupider idea for this documentary than to talk to celebrities about their highly controlled experiences at Disneyland. I want to hear from normal people. I actually would be much more interested in how the concepts for Disney took place because Bob Iger, of course, is featured here and he has crushed the soul of Disney, guys. The soul of Disney has been totally crushed. The innovation, this company can only make remakes of its previous products. All its content are products. They have wrecked Star Wars, wrecked Marvel, wrecked so many properties. They can't make things. And so I look at Disneyland and I think, of course, who they're introducing here is Walt Disney. And that's who I wish they would have focused on because he's a visionary. He is the guy who made all of this possible. Like to conceptualize what Walt Disney did at a time when that wasn't really a thing is just huge. And again, I can't emphasize enough how little I care about Jamie Lee Curtis, Neil Patrick Harris, and Harry and Meghan appearing in this, and Bob Iger. Actually, in fact, Bob Iger just offended me. He just honestly, like, don't be in front of any Disney stuff because all it reminds me of is how much of a horrible leader you are for the Disney brand. And I come at this as a passionate Disney fight or former one who has probably been to Disneyland like, well, at least 50 times, probably. Maybe that might be an exaggeration, but a number of times. I've been to Disneyland a lot. I can tell you a lot about the parks. I mean, they've changed quite a bit too. But one of the things I will tell you, which if they don't put this in the documentary, shame on them, the Indiana Jones ride breaks down every single day. Every single day, that ride breaks down. It broke down on me at least twice. And you like one time on the bridge in the middle of the ride. And so we had to walk back through the ride. It breaks down every single day. That is something that you know as somebody who's been to Disney numerous times. Again, I just watched this trailer and I go, gosh, why do you think Harry and Meghan matter in this situation? Like you paid for them to go to Disneyland. They got to the front of all the lines. They did not have the normal Disney experience. Also, the original fast track lanes were much better than whatever the crap you guys put together in the new parks and stuff, or like definitely in Disney World. I think they put it in Disneyland too. It sucks. The original fast pass lanes were better. Just saying. Sorry. I have a passionate feelings about Disney and how much they've wrecked the company in the last couple of years. But let's watch a little bit of this train wreck, I think, of a trailer here.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
Frontierland, Tomorrowland,
Space Mountain.
Why? He's been to Disneyland twice, guys. Like the first time he went in years was for Lilibet's birthday. So he says Space Mountain. Okay, but why do I care what the two of them think? Why do I care? I don't understand.
It's one of my favorite things.
Still one of your favorite rides, by the way.
It's a small world
I don't understand. I don't understand.
after all.
Not impressive. Okay.
The Jungle Cruise.
I am a Haunted Mansion guy. Welcome.
This is just like that they're focusing so much on celebrities. I find just very, very annoying. Just overall.
Foolish mortals.
Hello!
Oh, Jamie Curtis,
Join
I find
us
annoying
to
in this.
celebrate 70 years of Disneyland.
And how much like Disney has destroyed itself in that time is quite incredible. Because it used to be the place for innovation was Disney. Disney was pushing the boundaries and everything. And now they're just stuck.
Well, you look good for your age.
You would go through those doors at Disneyland and the rest of the world just went away.
That is true. Like it's, if you don't know, if you've never been to Disneyland, it's in Anaheim, California, which is south of Los Angeles. It's in between San Diego and Los Angeles. And when it comes to the park itself, like the highway is actually very close. You can see the top of the Matterhorn ride from the highway. I think it's I-5. And so you can like, it's right there. Like it's not too long after you get off the highway, there's the parks, but you have no conceptualization that like when you're in the park, like you can't even feel the other outlets there, which is actually pretty amazing. But at the same time, like I'd just much rather hear about this from other people. I don't understand the need constantly that people think celebrities sell things in the same way anymore. They don't. Actually get some TikTok stars on there and this documentary would sell so much better than Harry and Meghan being on there would.
People tried to touch his sleeve. People kept saying, God bless you, Walt. There is a...
I do want to hear from Julie Andrews. So sorry, I could only, for some reason, the people who stuck out in my head were Harry and Meghan, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Neil Patrick Harris. What I like in particular about Julie Andrews is that she actually met and knew Walt Disney. She knew Walt Disney. And so she has this connection that most of these other people don't have. Harry's things like, I like Space Mountain. I went on Space Mountain twice. I liked it. Like, what the hell am I supposed to care? I've been to Space Mountain numerous more times than you have, Harry. Do they have the old version or the new version? Because I think they upgraded one of the versions. I can't remember which one it was, though. If it was Disneyland or Disney World, because they do have to upgrade the rides from time to time. And Julie Andrews, though, love to hear from her. What interests me in this documentary is people who were as close to the inception of the park as possible, or people who met Walt Disney while he was still alive, and how they conceptualize these parks. Obviously, since it's been 70 years, most of those people who were at their youngest would now be in their 90s. So like the idea that you're going to get some people is just not possible. But I'd be much more interested in hearing about how the parks came together, rather why in the world that the media seems to think, because it didn't work in the election in 2024. It hasn't worked in a long time to put celebrities out in front of things. It just doesn't work anymore the way it used to. And I would just much rather hear from other people like Julie Andrews. Julie Andrews, I will say, guys, is because she knew Walt Disney, because she was in the parks like when they were very early, when you used to have to pay like a ticket for each individual ride and stuff like that. Much more interested in hearing from her. And as well, I have to say, you know, Walt Disney believes strongly in Americana, like the small town America. That's why Main Street USA is modeled after like a small town in Missouri or something. And the reason is that's that nostalgia. People love that. And I find it sort of offensive that the people who run Disney now have no appreciation or value in that bit of nostalgia factor whatsoever.
Memory that I wanted to share with you. There are two. Well, there are three. Well, there are probably 1,500.
I've found her bit here to be actually highly annoying. No offense if you like Jamie Lee Curtis, but I just found her presence here and I was like, okay.
Now,
because I'm sure you've been famous pretty much your whole life. Your parents were famous. So again, you got a very different experience of Disney than normal people.
a look into the future.
What's the new stuff?
We're taking you behind the scenes.
I'm not that interested in some of the future stuff, to be quite honest. I'm actually really mad that they changed Splash Mountain. I like the original Splash Mountain. I haven't seen the new Princess Tiana version of it, but like they changed it because of the connection of the Song of the South, which is not mentioned in the ride at all. Like you would have to really know. I thought the storytelling in Splash Mountain was so good. Actually, the big complaint I have about Splash Mountain, again, this is like becoming more about Disney than Harry and Meghan, but that might be fine. What I hate that they did to Splash Mountain is when you used to ride Splash Mountain, this was like 20 plus years ago, you used to get a little wet. You would get a little bit of splash, so you cooled down maybe a little bit, and you could go on and you could dry it off really quickly and those sorts of things. Now, if you go on Splash Mountain, I don't know if they've changed this, guys, you get soaking, sopping wet. Like I've seen people, like literally their whole head is dunked in water. And I'm like, that's not fun. Like you have to deliberately, the last time I rode Splash Mountain, which I'm thankful I did because that was the last time it was the original Splash Mountain ride in Disneyland, which is better than Disney World because the ride is a bit longer and stuff. Anyways, I actually wore leggings that day and things that would dry quickly because I knew how soaking wet I would get. And I did get pretty wet. My poor dad, he rode it with me and he got really wet. And he was wearing jeans and I felt so bad. But I was like, I really wanted to ride the ride. Nobody wanted else to ride it with me. And I'm so glad I did because that was the last time. And that was even before people were really wearing leggings like constantly as clothing, which is kind of funny.
Super secret, so don't tell anyone.
With the wonder of all the magic.
They don't call it the happiest place on earth for no reason.
And you killed it. You killed it. Because you're a terrible business. He can maybe do business, but he does not have the creative capacity to lead Disney. He just doesn't, in my personal opinion.
Prepare yourself.
We were just so
You're about
lucky.
to be blown away.
I thought it was kind of funny that they were like constantly talking over each other in that little bit. They seem very disconnected. Like Harry's talking about something totally different.
Prepare yourself.
We were just so
You're about
lucky.
to be blown away.
But it's like they get the best view of it because they're famous and rich. So they get the best view of it. Oh, it's so exciting and magical. Well, it won't be if you're spending $1,000 to go there a day, having to spend like, 50, 60, 70, 80, $100 on food for one meal for a family of 4. It won't be the most magical day on earth. You'll be sitting there going, "Oh my gosh, my bank account is drained." And so to me, again, this is not the smartest move by Disney in any stretch of the imagination to celebrate a park that has become wildly unaffordable for most people.
The surprises and secrets, the history and heart of Disneyland.
Which has died.
I can't even finish a sentence right now. I'm so excited.
Disneyland
This is just, I don't get what Disney was thinking with this.
taught me how to dream.
The happiest story on earth. 70 years of Disneyland.
Oh, it's been so sad though to see you ruin it.
Sunday, September 21st at 8/7 Central on ABC.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm curious. So let's see let's pull this back. So only 6 downvotes, but like 70,000 views. I just don't, or 44,000. I don't think people care about it. By Walt Disney. Now there's a great man who really knew how to make the world great. So most of these are pretty popular. Oh, Harry and the Meg fake Disney birthday trip photo off. Explained. Yes, they got paid to go. When you get paid to go, it kind of eliminates the kind of, let's say, your experience. It changes your experience if you're paid to go there and enjoy it. Like if I go there, I pay to get everything, and I'm not paid. I'm paying for the event, and so that's totally different. But it just kind of feels from Harry and Meghan slimy because Meghan did a huge birthday post. Now I thought that maybe they actually paid to take their daughter to Disneyland. Oh, no. They were paid to go to Disneyland for their daughter's birthday. They were paid to post about it. Now they're paid to be in this documentary. It just comes across to me as slimy. Like, why do you need to be paid to go to Disneyland? They could easily afford to go to Disneyland. But no, they don't go unless they're getting a kickback from it. And to me, I mean, I know Disneyland is a far away from Montecito, technically. Like, it's technically rather close, geographically speaking, than where I am right now. But obviously, you have to get through LA traffic and everything. But Harry and Meghan, they're just always out to make a buck. And I don't see what the point of participating in this documentary was. Like, why would you do this? Maybe a test when you're younger, but it just comes across as way, way slimy. It's just sort of ridiculous and bad. And shame on Disney for not doing a better job of reflecting Walt's legacy. Overall, shame on Disney. They should be so much better than they are, but I am not really all that interested, to be quite honest. I'll probably review it just to review and see if it's as bad as I'm thinking it is. But when you have somebody who doesn't really, I think, appreciate what Walt Disney was setting out to do, which is something totally different. Like an amusement park, like what he created was totally different. And the rides are so totally different. I remember going to Universal several years ago, and I was surprised at how little the rides had a story attached to them. The Disney rides were so well constructed story-wise. So unbelievably, they took you on a journey and everything. And I feel like that magic has been totally lost. And so when you celebrate 70 years of Disneyland, all I can see is the creative hollowness that is as hollow as Cinderella's castle itself. It's hollow because that's sort of what they've done. Or not Cinderella Castle, Sleeping Beauty's castle. I forget. Cinderella's castle is in Walt Disney World. Sleeping Beauty's castle is in Disneyland. Belle's castle is in Disneyland France or Disneyland Paris. In case you were curious. Yes, I have an exceptional amount of Disney knowledge, but I just find this sort of slimy from a business perspective overall. And I'd much rather hear from other people. I don't really care what Harry and Meghan have to say. I don't care what most of those other celebrities have to say about it, with the exception, of course, of Julie Andrew. Definitely very interested in Julie Andrew, somebody who knew Walt Disney, who experienced a young Disneyland and how it changed and evolved and those sorts of things. And the grand vision behind it, which was basically to take like a theme, like a a traveling fair and make it permanent. And you did have to pay for it because I remember I think my dad told me this because he was there in the early days of Disney. His family took him there. And like you had to pay individually for the rides. And of course, now it's totally changed. The Fast Pass used to be such a cool way to get to like kind of manage your park experience well and ride as many rides as humanly possible without sitting in line for too long. I got really good at figuring out how the best way to maximize the Fast Pass was when you used to have to like physically go and get a Fast Pass. Then they changed it to like electronic and you can only do 3 and it's just kind of a pain in the butt and everything. I've seen this company go from its peak to I feel like its depth, and it's just really sad because I lived through the Disney Renaissance era of the early 90s, and that was something to behold. The magic was there, but now the magic is dead. And it feels as dead as that documentary. And it feels as pointless as Harry and Meghan rambling on about how much they love Disney when they were paid to go there and got the biggest of VIP treatments. Like, why am I supposed to be impressed by 2 people who got the best treatment in the world? And I go in my experience, number 1, you're probably paying close to $1,000 for tickets if you're taking a large family. And so you're thinking, oh, they had a great time. But it's like, I'm paying like $1,000 for tickets. And then you go there, it's like, I'm spending $500 on food. And then you have souvenirs, and that's another like $500. And all of a sudden you spent $2,000 on a couple of days at Disney. Easily. Don't think this is the best move from anyone, but that's just my opinion. Let me know yours. Thank you so much for watching. Check out all the live streams we've done, all the great content we're putting out. Thank you so much for your support, and I shall speak to you again very soon. Bye.